Episode 323. Hello, lovely ladies. Welcome to the Sophie's Choice podcast show. My name is Sophie. I'm a psychologist and an energy shifter, and I do things quite differently than all the other law of attraction coaches out there. Manifesting is truly about the art of allowing. You do not manifest by meditating or reading LOA books. So forget everything you think you know about running a successful business and about the law of attraction, and get ready to manifest beyond your wildest dreams. Let's get going.
Unique and perfect is what you are. And your miracle will come true. Sophie's Choice.
So one of the biggest aha moments I had this week actually is that manifesting generators actually are here to challenge the way the world thinks about things. And just hearing that and getting that confirmation that I am a manifesting generator, and a part of me feels like, oh, you shouldn't talk about the human design all the time because you don't want to place people in certain categories. But for me, it truly helps at this point in my life to sort of accept who I am. And because there's a sort of new acceptance because of the human design stuff that came on my path, I feel like I'm elevating to an even higher level. So that whole sentence, we are here to challenge the way the world thinks about things, gives me strength actually to keep doing what I feel is right for me and my journey and our child and all that good stuff. So, for example, I was just thinking about this when I was at the couch, sitting at the couch with my daughter, and I was putting her, she's looking at me right now, I was putting her in the baby carrier, and I remembered a phone call I had this afternoon with my sister and brother-in-law, and they sort of made a comment about the fact that I'm always carrying her with me, and I was saying to them that we went to the city to shop, and Maurice suggested, well, let's take the stroller for once, because I always have her in the baby carrier, and only when we go out for a walk in the morning, I actually use the baby carrier of the stroller, which is, by the way, a really expensive stroller, and he said, let's use it for once. So we went to the city, we got the stroller out. I thought it was quite a hustle to put that thing in the car. I think it's way more easier to put the baby in a baby carrier. I just put a diaper in my mini Louis Vuitton bag. I don't need a big diaper bag, even though I do have a big diaper bag, but I find it very inconvenient. So anyways, we did it. We got all the stuff out. It was quite a hustle. We go to Louis Vuitton, we are in the line there, and she just keeps on crying. She's like, get me out of this thing. I hate it here. Put me back into the baby carrier. So I was telling that story to my brother-in-law, my sister-in-law, and they were like, yeah, that's what you get if you carry her all the time. First of all, probably it was just an innocent remark or comment, maybe not, maybe so, but something in me got triggered. And I was like, oh, maybe it is a little bit odd that I always have her with me. We sleep together, we eat together, we go in bath together, bathing together. We do everything together. And I remember that my sister-in-law made a comment even a couple weeks earlier, because they were with us and we were playing a game, and she was like, can she just lay down in her she has like a little cocoon nest. Yeah, I don't know how you call it in English. It's a nestje, we call it. It's like this cocoon where you can lay them down in like a little bed. And I was like, oh, well, you can always try it, but she'll cry because she doesn't like it. She doesn't like to lay down there by herself. She wants to feel my body heat, and she wants to hear my heart, and she just likes to be with me. But you can try, but she won't like it. And she's like, well, don't you think you'll get in trouble later down the line? And I found that again a very triggering comment for me. Was like, what does she? Well, I get what she means with it, but no, sort of I don't. So I think a lot of people are conditioned to raise their children a certain way, to make them very soon very independent of them, so that you as a parent have all the freedom to do what you want. And that might be right for a lot of parents, but for me, my journey, and I think also the journey of my daughter, that's not the case. So we are both manifesting generators. So by realizing that, I feel like we are here meant to challenge the way the world thinks about things. So we are also here to actually give the example of how you can do things differently. That is not necessarily to make your child so soon, so young, independent. It doesn't need to be that way. It's something that we learned as as individuals along the line. I think it probably happened when women started working more, and we felt the need to actually put them in daycare very early on. I went to daycare from the age of 6 or 8 weeks. I don't know, Mom, something around that. Now, I truly believe that that was the right decision for me at that time and for my mother. She was the best mom I could ever wish for. And she just loved her work, and we went to daycare. And when she got out of work, she invested all her time and energy in us. And we went to bed quite late at the evening, so we had a lot of time with her. So I never felt that I was deprived of anything. However, I do truly feel that is not the right journey for me and my daughter. I mean, just the thought of bringing her to daycare actually makes me crunch. And that is without a judgment. There might be a little judgment, but that's my ego. From my spirit level, there is no judgment in how other moms are doing that. But for me personally, and also for my daughter, because I kept thinking about that comment that she made. You get in trouble along the later when she gets older. You get in trouble because she will only want to be with you. First of all, I don't quite believe that. I believe that they develop in the right pace for them. So I believe that when she is really ready to be more dependent, that she'll tell me. Like, for example, we don't have a nursery room. Or nursery, I think you call it. We don't have a nursery. She just sleeps with us, and we have her clothes with us, and there's no need for a nursery. What does she need to do in a nursery at this point? In my opinion, nothing. So I truly believe that when she will be a certain age, she will probably say, okay, Mommy and Daddy, I would like to sleep in my own bed, or I would like to have my own room. Well, when she actually wants that, we'll provide her that, of course. But I truly won't have any issue with her staying with me or with us actually for as long as she wants. I truly believe we are here to provide our children with whatever it is that they need. And attuning to our children is what actually is gonna it's what's gonna elevate these children to the next level, but also us as parents, that's what's gonna elevate us to the next level. But to get back to the topic of we are here to challenge the way the world thinks about things, I need that phrase, because a lot of people look at me and think, oh, so she just does whatever she wants and she doesn't care about what other people think. But of course I do care about what other people think, and I do get triggered when people say things like that, because I do think when people say stuff like that, I'm like, they might be right, and maybe I will get in trouble. I don't actually believe I will get in trouble, but I do believe that when we get older, people are gonna make more comments about it, and people are gonna make more, are gonna have more of an opinion. about it. Like now she's still little and people are like, oh, that's so cute, she's with you all the time. But I'm pretty sure that when she gets older, people are going to think something about that. So I need something like that. I need to hear it from, I don't care if it's from Human Design or from something else, but it makes sense to me now. And I'll explain something about my Human Design chart. So I don't know if you're familiar with Human Design. I wasn't familiar with it at all until a couple of weeks ago. And you have different kind of types, and I'm a manifesting generator. So you also have a manifestor, you also have generators, you also have projectors. And there's also like a number in your chart, and I am a 1-3, and a 1 is an investigator. So if you have a 1 in your chart, it means you're like me, an investigator. And what does that mean? It means that once you sort of found something that you find very interesting, you will dive in so deep. So it's like from the moment I decided from the moment I got triggered by that Human Design stuff, I just dove in deep, and I bought right away a very expensive training to actually go deeper into how do you call that? Searching for the word, into the theories of Human Design. Is actually a training which allows me to do Human Design readings for others, which at this point I have no interest in doing that, but I am so curious about the Human Design profiles of others to actually just understand it better, so that I understand my relationships better, so that I understand my clients better. So that's why I actually bought it, and it's very, very interesting. And it's not for me a tool to place people in boxes. It's actually for me a way to sort of make sense of how the world works. And this was exactly the same when in 2017 I first got in contact with the law of attraction. And from the moment I got sort of psyched about it, I just dove in deep. I read every book in the world, and I made such a clear translation of the law of attraction for a lot of people. A lot of people finally got it when I started explaining how I interpret the law of attraction. And I'm probably going to do the same thing with the Human Design stuff, that I'm actually going to read so much about it and listen so much content about it, and then I will make my own translation, because I am also a critical 1-3. So because I'm an investigator, I don't actually take everything for granted. So when people say, okay, this is how it works, I won't be like, okay, thanks, I believe that, and now, right, I'm off having a great day. No, in my mind, I start questioning it, and I start questioning my own source energy. Now I'll ask them questions. I'll be like, is that true? And how do you guys think about it? And then it almost becomes like a puzzle in my mind to sort of grasp all those different elements and make it to a consistent story. And I find it a very fascinating process. So I'm really looking forward to actually sharing that with you guys. Also, there was something else that I wanted to talk about, and that is like the frequency of a language. So I have been feeling stuck, might not be the right word, but I have been feeling sort of stuck in my business the last couple of years. And it wasn't really a feeling of really feeling stuck, but I was keep feeling like something is off. I'm doing the stuff I like, but every time I get fired up, it's like my engine dies again, and I don't feel the excitement anymore. Well, first of all, manifesting generators do tend to have that tendency, like that you are very excited about something for a day or 2 days or 5 days or maybe even weeks, and then all of a sudden you lose your interest and you go on to something else. So as a manifesting generator, we are not meant to do the same thing for forever. That's not our profile. That's not why we are here. We are actually here to show the world that you can do a lot of different things. So Tony Robbins, for example, he's also a manifesting generator. Jessica Alba, I think. Was it Jessica Alba? I think it was her. She's also a manifesting generator. One aspect of manifesting generators is that they can do a lot of things at the same time, but also run a lot of different sort of businesses at the same time, or have one business with a lot of different aspects, like me. So I have Sophie's Choice, and I see this all the time with my clients, that they are like, oh, I have to decide between this and that, and I have to make a decision. If you are a manifesting generator like me, you do not have to make a decision. Embrace the fact that you have multiple interest and incorporate all those things into your business. So I have at this point now 3 podcast shows. I have the Sophie's Choice podcast show, the main channel. I have the English version, which I'm not quite sure yet if I'm going to use that or if I'm just going to drop these episodes on the Sophie's Choice channel. I'm not quite sure yet. And then I have the Divine Motherhood podcast show. And I never do one thing in my business. I started off with money mindset training, and then I developed a spirit marketing course, and then I did a Dream Academy. And every time I come up with new things because that's who I am. Right now, I am at a point or a stage in my business that I discovered that I am not your typical teacher. I'm not your typical coach. So I do not like it when I have to sort of take people by the hand and explain them things. That's not my genius. My path is truly to really live my life to the fullest, be an example, and take you guys on my journey with you. And the best way I can, and I had a lot of conversations with myself, and I had to really figure out, okay, but how can I actually make a product out of that? I mean, how can I, if I'm not going to teach people something, how can I actually sell a product? Well, I came up with the most amazing solution ever, and that's actually my new mentorship program. The doors will open for that program on the 1st of March, so keep an eye out for that because it's going to be amazing. So I'm actually going to sell my energy, and that sounds very vague, but actually I am gonna take you on a journey for 60 days, and in those 60 days I will uplift your energy to a level that you have never seen before. So this weekend I received a message from one of my contenders from a free challenge that I gave at the end of 2021. And I gave this challenge. It was a challenge, and I think it lasted for about 30 days. And in that challenge, I did nothing more than just show up and share my energy. And she literally told me, oh my God, Soph, I have manifested so many things in that period of time. She said we had so much issues with getting our children to bed. It was like a hustle every night. We had arguments every night. Since I surrounded myself with your energy, all those fights are over. The children are going to bed so easily. I have the best nights with my husband. My business is actually going amazingly. Money is flowing to me easily. Something shifted since I surrounded myself with your energy. And that is my gift. My gift is truly, getting you to that next level with my energy. You just have to tap into my energy and I'll get you there. And of course I created a forum for that, and you will all find that out in the once I'm gonna release the mentorship program on the 1st of March. And the reason I'm starting, I want to talk about this, is because I had to write a sales page for that mentorship program. And that was where I was feeling stuck the last couple of months or years. I wasn't feeling the flow anymore. So whenever I had to make a sales page, and you don't have to make a sales page, of course, but I do think it's kind of handy for people to know what they are buying. I have to say, in my defense, I have sold very high priced programs, programs above the 10,000K without any sales page. So you definitely don't always need a sales page, but I believe for like a mentorship program, it is convenient if people can go to the page and see, okay, what I'm gonna get, and to really get a vibe, mainly a vibe of what the mentorship is about. And in Dutch, I just couldn't produce it. I was like, I cannot write these words down. And then I had this most interesting insight that language has its own frequency. And I discovered that like Dutch has a certain frequency and it's a beautiful language, but the frequency is completely different than the frequency of the English language. And it's even funny because one of my customers, Najura, she's amazing. If you want to look her up, I think it's Sensual Goddess Najura, something like that. I always forget her Instagram name, but if you Google it or if you Instagram it, like you search in Instagram and you type down Najura, you will find her. And even though she actually, her content right now is still in Dutch, but even if you don't speak Dutch, it's really worth looking her up because her energy is so appealing. And you'll understand and grab her, you will understand her energy even though if you don't speak the language. But however, she is from the Netherlands, but she's born on one of the islands that used to be a colony of the Netherlands. And she has this amazing accent. I absolutely adore her. When I hear her talk, I don't know, I can't help but smile because she has the frequency of her language is amazing. So even in your language, there can be different kind of accents or dialects which come with a different frequency. So if you are if you do speak English, then the frequency of somebody who lives in London might be completely different than somebody who lives in Alaska, for example. But it's very interesting to start noticing that language has its own frequency. So if you're listening to this podcast and you are maybe right now, maybe you're Spanish or maybe you're German or maybe you're French or maybe you're Dutch and you feel like something is off in your business, just take a look at the frequency of your language. Is there something there that is inviting you to go next level? So for me, it was so clear. I kept getting these signs. The first sign was actually a sign that I saw on the Instagram of Gabby Bernstein, and it was a post that said something something like God wants you. Sometimes God says no because you are aiming too low. That was the quote. Sometimes God says no because you're aiming too low. That was the first sign. I was like, interesting. And I have been actually thinking about starting my business in English for a long time, but I just couldn't see how to do it. I really couldn't see it. I was totally confused and I was like, I don't know. I really don't know how to do this. But then I saw that sign like, interesting, very interesting. And then the other day I was on Instagram again, and then I saw a friend of mine post a new quote, and that said, "Nah, bigger, God." I'm like, oh my God. And then the third sign was actually another Instagram influencer, a Dutch Instagram influencer, who also decided to stop broadcasting in Dutch and start broadcasting in English. And I was like, oh, okay. Fuck, I get it. I will start shifting to English. Well, a part of me still thinks it's kind of random because I do feel like my energy in my English podcast is different than in my Dutch podcast. And I'm still not quite sure if I like this frequency for the podcast better than the Dutch frequency. But I also decided like you have to start doing it, because if you don't do it, then it will never be a comfort zone. I mean, you can only really truly get comfortable with this if you just start doing it. And maybe you look back in a couple of years and you look back and you listen to this episode and you'll be like, oh my God, that was horrible. I don't think it's horrible, but you get the point. But you need to start doing it at a certain point. And of course, I have these voices in my head. They're like, oh, people are not going to like this. They're going to like your Dutch podcast more. But I'm going to be able to reach so much more people in English. So I decided to really turn off those voices and decided that the frequency of the Dutch language at this point in my business just doesn't serve me anymore. And making the sales page was the best example for me ever, because the last couple of years making a sales page was absolutely draining for me. It just didn't work at all. I don't know. Everything felt so I'm trying to come up with the right word. It felt like it was really manufactured. I mean, it was really from the mind. It didn't, you looked at the words and you weren't, I wasn't feeling it at all. And I wasn't getting excited about my own sales pages. I felt like it was, it was a very draining process. And then this weekend, I was like, oh, let me just see what happens if I'm gonna do a sales page in English. And oh my God, it was so freaking awesome. I mean, I just kept getting those downloads. Like within an hour, I had all the lines for the sales pages. I had this really clear vision of the vibe that I wanted the sales page to have. So I had, all of a sudden I was thinking about, oh, I can use this picture and this picture and this picture. And right now, the sales page is almost finished. I'm actually having somebody look at the grammar, because I do want the grammar to be correct, even though my Dutch grammar was also never flawless, but still. Somebody actually offered me, like, so if you have anything in English, I would love to check the grammar. So I happily make use of that. But right now, when I go to that sales page, I actually go to the sales page a couple of times a day just to get really excited about my offer. And that is a feeling I haven't had for years, or maybe I actually never had that at all, that I was so excited about my offer by looking at my sales page. So I really realized, like, I am doing for me, there is no right or wrong, but there's never a right or wrong, but this has to be right because it feels right. And because it feels right, it is right. It doesn't even matter to me anymore what the outcome is. If I get 10 people for the mentorship, or 50 or 100 or 1,000, I mean, I do really, I would think it would be amazing if it would be a lot of women that I can actually guide with my energy in a mentorship, because I do believe that even though you actually are not being put in a group, you actually deal with my frequency one-on-one, it's still something magical when we collectively start this process. So if we'll be with a group of 100, you will definitely notice that in the energy. Also, I came up with this brilliant other thing, and I will actually not reveal that in this episode. I will reveal that once I release the sales page, and you'll have to wait until the 1st of March until I'm gonna reveal that. But I did something with the pricing, which I have never seen at any other coaching or actually any other company ever before. And it was a thought that I had in my mind for the longest time. And it was something that was really still, it kept on coming back. You have to do this, you have to do this, you have to do this. But I wasn't feeling it. I wasn't sure how to incorporate it. But now when I was writing this English sales page and I was walking down the street yesterday, and I was like, oh my God, I have to do that thing with the pricing. That download came through and I have to do it. So I'm really curious how people are going to respond to the pricing. And it really is next level manifesting. It truly is. And it really puts you as an attendee in the driver's seat right away. You actually get to decide what the value will be of your journey. I mean, I'm not going to say too much about it, but it's going to be really freaking amazing. So make sure that by the time the sales page come out, you will visit it, and I will send out an email about it, and I will put it out on Instagram, and I will definitely place it in the podcast, of course. So for now, I think I sort of covered everything that was in my mind. I think I did a pretty good job. It's almost an episode of 30 minutes, and I wasn't expecting to be able to talk so much in English, but I think I did a pretty good job. So I am very curious to know. Am I curious? I don't know if I'm curious. Sort of, my ego is curious. My ego is curious to know what you actually think of this episode. And you would do me a great favor if you like this episode, that you go to iTunes and leave a ranking. And you can rank with the stars. 5 stars is, of course, the best thing to do, because then my podcast gets a lot of high stars, and it will be shown to more people. But you would also really do me a favor by placing a comment in the reviews, and just place one word that this episode triggered for you. I truly hope it helps you on some level. Just accept yourself. That's really my main goal for my episodes, that you accept yourself, that you embrace who you are, and that you find the strength to really, really, really feel, to follow your own gut and your own intuition, and to truly trust that the thing that is right for you is right for you, and to stop comparing yourself to others. My journey is my journey, and it's not your journey, but it is meant to actually activate your own manifesting power, so that you can feel like, oh my God, I can do anything I want. And just be proud of it. Just be proud of it and embrace who you are. And if you're a manifesting generator like me, you'll probably recognize a lot of things that I've said. If you're a generator, you probably also will recognize a lot of things I say, because as a manifesting generator, we actually have both. So we have the generator side and we have the manifesting side. And depending on your chart, you can actually see if you are more of a manifesting generator, or more a manifesting generator. And the main difference is that as a generator, you really need a sign from outside, so a sign from the universe, or you need something external before you actually can make a decision on something. And as a manifester, you don't need that. So for example, if I want to collaborate with somebody, if I'm purely a generator, I would actually sort of wait for a sign from the universe. And if I get a sign from the universe, like this is the right person, then it will be the right path for you to do, and it will be a success. But if you're a manifester, you can be like, oh, I want to collaborate with somebody, and then you can actually contact that person by yourself. So that's actually how I manifested Rihanna. She's my business buddy at this point. And maybe that's a funny story to end this episode with. I felt a couple of months ago, I felt like, oh, I really want to have a new business buddy. I want somebody that I can really mastermind with. And I really love that energy where you actually help each other to the next level, where you elevate each other, where you really help higher each other's frequency. That's actually always my intention with my mastermind. And I had a very clear picture in my mind of the type of person it needed to be, because even though I didn't know I was a manifesting generator, of course I do really know my character, my personality. I know I'm very impulsive. I know my strengths, and I also know my flaws. So I had a very clear vision of what this person needed, what kind of person this needed to be. And I actually just had that thought in my mind. I was like, I want to do a mastermind. This is the kind of person I want to attract, but I had no attachment, and I just let it go. And I was like, okay, well, let's see where this takes me. And then all of a sudden, I was scrolling on Facebook, which I actually never do, because I'm either on Instagram for my business, or I'm not at social media at all. But that time, I don't know, I was laying in bed with my daughter, and I was like, okay, I'm sort of bored. Let's scroll down Facebook. And all of a sudden, I see this post from Rihanna, and I recognize her name because she used to be, I don't know if she really was a customer of mine. I don't think she was. Maybe she bought a small product of mine once. I don't know. But I do know she was one of my followers in the beginning of Sophie's Choice. And I looked at this post and I read it, and I was like, oh my gosh, this is an amazing frequency. And at that point, I didn't even know what she did exactly. I do know she's a psychologist like me, and I do know I do knew that she was living abroad. I think it's Chile. I'm not sure. Forgive me if I said it wrong. But anyways, she's living abroad with her husband and her baby. And I just really recognized her energy. I was like, this is the energy I envisioned. Just by seeing that post, I just felt it. I was like, this is the energy I envisioned. So I sent her a message on Instagram, and I didn't go in right away and be like, oh, do you want to mastermind with me? I thought that was a little random. So I was like, first, let me see what the response will be when I just sent her a message and ask her how she is. So I sent her this message, asked her how she was, and she responded very positively, and she was very, well, her frequency was still the kind of frequency I expected her to be. And then I was like, okay, I'm gonna tell her why I contacted her. And I said, well, I was really looking for a mastermind buddy, and I came across your post, and I don't know, I'm really drawn to you, and I don't know, it's very random. We have actually never really spoken, but maybe this is a good idea. And she was like, oh my God, I was actually in the same process. I was also looking for a mastermind buddy, and this sounds perfect. Let's meet up and see if we are a match for now. So we did, and we are a match for now, and we're having a lot of fun texting each other and sending each other voice memos and actually helping each other sort of well, we will mirror each other, and I don't know, just by sometimes it just helps, like really explaining your process to somebody, and sometimes that is enough, and then you already have the answer. And that's what I really love about this mastermind relationship that we have. So that's actually how I manifested her, but I did without actually I didn't get a sign from the universe, oh, you have to right now send Rihanna a message, but I did it just because I really felt like it. So that is something I believe you can do as a manifester, but then as a generator, it would be more helpful for you to actually wait for a sign. So you probably see her name, and then you will also get I don't know, you see a billboard on the side of the road that says, join a mastermind. And then you'll be like, oh yes, now I have to do it. You get the difference? So that's also one of the benefits when you actually join my mentorship program, because I will really elevate your frequency. You will start seeing signs from the universe that will be crystal clear. You will see billboards aside the road that will actually tell you what to do. And I'm there all the time right now. I'm just at this frequency right now that actually the billboards are talking to me. The license plates are talking to me. The time on my phone is talking to me. And like, if we're talking about, I keep on going, but if we are talking about double digits, sometimes you just see double digits and you'll be like, okay, yeah, I get it. It's nice, double digits, angel numbers, whatever. But sometimes you just get this sense. So I kept seeing 0707. And the first time I was like, oh, interesting. I think somebody's trying to tell me something, but I wasn't acting on it. And then I just continued with my work. And then the next day, on a very random, in a very random way, I saw that 0707 again. I was like, okay, I get it. You're trying to tell me something. So I looked it up, and it was like the perfect message for me at this time. So be sure that when you're looking out for signs, actually don't look out for signs. You do look out for signs, but don't look out for signs. So don't be like, don't make everything a sign, because not everything is a sign. You will actually feel when something is a sign or not. I see double digits all the time, and I might see like 444 one day, like 4 times, and I will not actually feel anything with it. I just see like, oh, that's nice, a confirmation of the universe, I'm doing fine, but it doesn't feel like something special. But then another day I will see 444, and all of a sudden I will feel sort of like a hinge from the inside out, and I'm like, oh wait, today this 444 is telling me something. So don't start like categorizing everything as a major sign. Really tap into your intuition and feel when something triggers you. So when you get triggered by it, then it actually means that you then it actually means that it's coming to bring you a message. So look out for those signs, look out for those moments. And when you actually start following those signs, especially as a generator or a manifesting generator, I truly believe you will manifest beyond your wildest dreams. And if you really want to go next level, and you actually want to do it in an unconventional way, so you don't want to follow a training that tells you you have to do this or make the traditional mood boards or meditate or whatever, you really, really, really want to go next level, then please look out for the mentorship program, because it will get you next level in a way you have never imagined before. And the fun part about this is you don't have to do anything. You just have to open the content that I will send you, and I promise you, you will love it, and it will get you in such a high frequency. And from that high frequency, you will actually move to a higher flying disc. And from that higher flying disc, you are going to see stuff that you are not seeing right now, but they are actually present. So it's not like you're not going to manifest. You're going to see what you already manifested, because everything you want is already in your vortex. You only need to go to a higher level. You only need to uplift your energy level, your frequency, and then you will see what's already there. So if you're dreaming about a baby, or you're dreaming about a dream husband, or you're dreaming about a dream job, or you're dreaming about a new office space, I don't know what you're dreaming about, or a new home, that stuff is actually already in your vortex. It already exists. And the only thing you need to do is higher your frequency so that you can see it. But because we keep staying at this low frequency, we cannot see the stuff that's already there. So that's the big misassumption about manifesting, that we actually think we have to do something in order to manifest stuff. No, it's already there. You only need to stand still and let me help you elevate your frequency to the next level, and then you will see all the magic that is waiting for you. Okay, I hope you enjoyed this episode. Have a beautiful day, evening, morning, whenever you hear this, and make sure you leave a ranking on iTunes. Bless you and have an amazing day. Ciao.